Hi, welcome back. Today I have yet another 3 exercise set to improve the posture, your posture. For you, I have other videos like this up on my channel, so I'll link them down below if you want to check them out. This kind of class is where I ask you to set aside 5 to 10 minutes every morning for, let's say, at least 3 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks, where you're going to do this little set every day, 5 or 7 days a week, and see if you improve your posture by doing so. So if you are up for it, you'll meet me down on the mat and let's begin. So for today's class, you'll need a wall. Most of us have that in our house. A wall, a mat, and you'll need something like this, so like a hard pole kind of thing. This is where I attach the mop to mop the floor. So you can just detach that and use that. The purpose of these kind of exercises is not so much that, oh, you do this a couple of times, now you feel better, now you're going to let it go, your posture is perfect, off you go. We're made to move and we're made through movement. So it's a really bad idea to aim for a life without movement. So we're not moving now so that we can not move later on. Rather, we are moving now and we're moving in certain ways, let's say correct ways, so that we can pattern the better ways of moving, so that when we're just moving naturally in our life, we're just naturally making better choices for our body. Does that make sense? So that is the purpose of these kinds of videos. Right, let's get into it. I'm going to sit for the first exercise, but you probably want to stand up. I'm just going to sit because of the camera angle, it's a little bit complicated to get myself in frame at all times. But you're going to stand and you're going to try to stand up straight, tucking your chin a little bit in, and you're going to grab a hold of that pole. Now, mind you, if you have a really narrow position, then it's going to stretch so much more than if you have a broader position with your hands. So maybe you want to just start out with your hands far apart. What you're going to do is to bring your arms above the head. And if this is fine, if you're not distorting, by distorting I mean you're not just arching a lot in your back, you're keeping your back straight, this is fine, then you can kind of begin dropping your arms behind you. And if that's fine as well, you can go all the way down, you see? So the first exercise is doing this fairly slowly. I mean, we're not holding anywhere. We're moving all the time, but we're doing so quite slowly. So we're just warming up, let's say the shoulder socket, getting used to kind of stretching a little bit through the whole socket. Now, if you find that you need a little bit more pulling, then you can bring the hands a bit closer to each other. Make sure that you are breathing. Now, this is not supposed to hurt. If you feel like you're really pushing to get your arms behind you and it's really hurting, then you're doing too much. This thing you can also do when you get used to it, laying on your belly. Obviously not bringing your arms in front of you, but just working on the back part. That's also an interesting way of doing it, combining kind of the contraction of the back muscles to this. All right, let's say that we are happy about that, we're satisfied. We'll come to the wall and you're going to sit up against the wall. So think about what probably your teacher had you do in gym class, sitting up against the wall, but it's not, the purpose is not to work out the thighs, so you don't have to sit really low. Okay. So when you are here, you're going to push your sacrum or your pelvis into the wall. So you're pushing the floor and you're pushing through the floor into the wall. So there's a constant tension going on towards the wall. Then you're going to push the back of your shoulders towards the wall and the back of your head. All right, and you're going to make sure that all these points are pushed against the wall at all times. If you feel your chest popping off, you're going to relax your chest and push the back of your rib cage into the wall as well. Now pay attention. If you push from your toes, just try it. If you push from your toes, you'll notice that you're activating a lot of the big muscles in your thighs. If you push from the heel, you might feel that you can kind of relax that larger muscles. It's almost as if you're activating more on the inside here, and that you're activating more from the bones. So you're not really using all of this larger stuff. That's the feeling I want you to have. So we're economizing our movements, not using things that we don't need to use. So this is the exercise. You're just staying here, paying attention to the push, to the tension, to the body parts that are up against the wall. So I'm not concerned with pressing my lower back into the wall. It kind of naturally flattens out when you sit down anyway, but you don't have to. I mean, you can push it into the wall, but you don't have to. All right, I'll give you 2 progressions from this. One is to just stay here and use a belly breath. Belly breath is where you expand your belly on the inhale, and on the exhale, you draw the navel to the spine and you hollow out your belly. So you keep not moving, it's just the breath that is moving. So you're activating a little bit more in your abdomen. That's one progression. Other progression, thumbs are pointing up. You're going to swim one arm back and then just switch your arms. So keeping everything in position, keeping the tension to the wall, but just switching your arms. Lots of things to think about. Make sure you're not pushing with your toes. You can even release your toes off the floor to check. Now make sure that as you swim off the wall, your scapulas are not leaving the wall and then coming back to the wall. They're just rolling over. So you keep pushing your shoulders into the wall. All right, let's say we're satisfied with that now. Let's come off the wall and we'll lay down on the mat, laying on the belly. Now let me just explain from a seated position so you can hear me. You're going to extend your arms above the head. Your thumbs are going to point up and you're going to lift one arm off the floor and down, other arm off the floor and down. The progression is going to be to lift them both at the same time. And then another even more evolved progression is going to be to keep your upper body off the floor all the time. So gather your feet beneath you and extend the arms above the head. Thumbs are pointing up. And you'll begin with one arm at a time. Make sure that you're relaxing your neck. You're working from underneath your scapula. So you have to really connect with your back. And the progression again, is to do both the arms at the same time. And then the last progression would be to stay up here where I am now, rather than resting your forehead to the floor as you do this. All right? Good job. Do let me know if you choose to try this out and if these exercises are helping you out or not. And please do subscribe to my channel as I upload similar videos to this, or even classes in Pilates, calisthenics, somatics, Bartinia fundamentals, dance technique, all kinds of different stuff. And until next time, bless you. Ciao.